Welcome back to Module 3.4. In this video, let's take a look at the power of 10 regarding to dividing decimals and some application, just a few application problems. So I mentioned this before, where when it comes to power of 10, when we multiply by 10, we move the decimal to the right. So dividing by 10 means we will actually move the decimal to the left one place, okay? Dividing by 100 is moving to the left two places. And dividing by 1,000 will be moving to the left three places. So each division, okay, of 10, 100, 1,000 means moving to the left. But division of a fraction means times the reciprocal. So that's the reason why if we ever have times by 1/10, times by 1 over 100, times by 1 over 1,000, okay, which is also equivalent to times by 0.1, times by 0.01, times by 0.001. All those are all equivalent to moving to the left one place, two places, or three places, okay? Just like right here, the second example, dividing by 10,000. Dividing by 10,000 means times by, basically the 8.62 is actually times by 1 over 10,000. So 1,000 is moving, dividing by 1,000 moving to the left three places. So dividing by 10,000 is moving to the left four places. So for this 8.62, if I move to the left four places, 1, 2, 3, 4 decimal places right here, and in front of the 8, I have 3 empty slots where I can put my zeros in. So then my answer got to be 0.000862. So by understanding the power of tens, I don't have to divide this decimal 8.62 using long division. I can just do it by moving my decimal places. All right, so this is another 10,000. So for the 3.55, moving divided by 10,000, that's left. All right, four places. All right, 1,000 means move to the left three places. Okay, 10,000 will be four places. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. So that's 3 empty slot in front of the 3. So that's why my answer would simply be 0.000355. All right. So now let's take a look at a few application problems. So if the total price, so this problem is a little bit different than the refrigerator ones I done under multiplication. This is saying the total price of the washer is $547, including a tax of 0.08 times the list price. What is the list price? So remember the $704 was the list price. All right. So the total price is basically saying the list price plus the tax. All right. So the total price now is $547. The list price, I don't know. But remember now the tax come from the taxes. The amount of tax actually comes from 0.08 times the list price, right? Which is I don't know. Okay, so let me explain this real quick, okay? So basically, this $547, it consists of two different things. It consists of the list price and the tax. And the tax actually comes from 0.08 times the list price as well. All right. So what do we do exactly with this problem? All right. So let's think about this. Okay, this is kind of strange. The list price, I don't know. Whatever this list price is, I got to pay for the whole thing. Okay, plus I got to pay for the tax. So let's call this whole entire list price 100%. Okay, I'm gonna look at it from the percent perspective. Plus, all right, plus 0.08. If you can recall, 0.08 is 8%. Okay. All right, times 8% of the list price. So that means my $547 is 100% list price plus another 8% of the list price. So that's basically saying is 108% of the list price. All right, so if it's 108% of the list price, then we will actually divide it by 108%. And 108% in terms of a decimal is actually 1.08. So this problem, we actually gonna take the 547 divided by 108%, which is 1.08. Okay, kind of strange little problem. It's actually a very good problem. It's just being in module 3, there are percentage we have not done yet, and there are algebra material we have not done yet. So if you can comprehend, you got to pay for the entire 100% of the list price plus another 8% taxes that's based off the list price. So you're basically saying the $547 is 108% of the list price, and 108% is equivalent to 1.08 in decimal notation. All right, so let's divide. To make this into a whole number, I got to move my decimal to the right 2 places, which is 108. 547, the decimal was actually behind the 7. Now need to be moved to the right 2 places. So that give me 2 empty slot behind the 7 I can put zeros in. All right. This problem want me to round to the nearest cent. Round to the nearest cent is round to the nearest hundredth. So to round to the nearest hundredth, I need to add the 10th place, 100th place, and I also need to add the 1000th place. Because once I know what this digit is above the 1000th place, then I know how the 100th place or the cents is going to be rounded. All right, so this is a kind of robust little problem here. So 108 will go into 547 about 5 times. Because 5 times 8 is 40. 5 times 1 is 5. So that's 7. Bring down the 0. 108 cannot go into 70, so that will be 0 times. Bring down another 0. This is going to be 6 times, right? 6 times 8 is 48. All right, 6 times 1 is 6. If I subtract, that's about 52. So decimal is right here behind the decimal. Once I moved it, it's always staying. Bring down the first 0 down. So 5 times give me 540. So 4 times will give me 432. So let's subtract. Let me keep on moving this 2 down here. Ooh, bounce it right back up. All right, if I subtract 20, that's going to be 8, 12, 11 minus 3 is going to be 8. All right, bring down the next 0, 880. So if I use 8, that will be too big. No, 8 is not. 8 times 8 is 64. 8 times 1 is 8, so that's good. That's 6, that's 1. Right, 7 minus 6 is 1. Yep, bring down the next 0. So the thousands place, 108 can only go into 160 about 1 times. So this 1 is going to make my cent over my 100th place stays the same. So my final answer All right, the list price is about $506.48. Okay, that will be my answer. All right, let's try another one. If a minivan travel 435 miles for 17-gallon of gas, how many miles per gallon, okay, does it have? So this is actually called a rate problem. So the question is how many miles for 1 gallon. So gallon is actually the divisor. Miles is actually the dividend. So all we have to do is take my miles divided by the 17. That will tell me how many miles for 1 gallon. All right. You want me to round to nearest tenth, so I gotta calculate to the hundredth place. So let's do it right here, real quick. So 17, the divisor 435. Okay, no decimal need to be moved because 17 is divisor is already a whole number. So my decimal is behind the 5. I need to round to nearest tenth, so I need to add 1 0 for the tenth. And I also need to add another 0 for the hundredth place to tell me how my tenth place is gonna go up or stay the same. So 17 going to 43 two times, which is 34. If I subtract, that's a 9. Bring down the 5. So I think 8 will be too big, right? 8 times 7 is 56. So 8 times 1 plus 5 is way too big. Let's try about 5 times. 5 times 7 is 35. Carry 3. 5 times 1 plus 3 is 8. So that's a 10. After I subtract, bring down the next 0 down. So 5 is already 85. If I try with 6, 6 times 7 is 42. 6 times 1 plus 4 is actually 10. So this 6 will be slightly too big. So I can use another 5, which will give me another 85. All right, if I subtract, that's 15. Bring down the next one. All right, so this is 150. So 6, 7, 8. If I use 8 right here, 8 times 7 is 56, carry 5. So 8 times 1 is 8. 8 plus 5 is 13. So when I subtract, that's a 4. All right, that's 4 minus 3 is 1. Okay, so 14 is smaller than 17, so 8 is actually correct to use. So my 8 on the 100th will make my 10th place go up. So my answer is actually about 25.6 miles per gallon. All right. All right, this is a pretty big problem. Suppose that the total interest that will be paid on a 35-year mortgage from a home loan of $90,000 is going to be $420,000. So this is kind of strange wording. So I have a 35-year mortgage from a home loan of $90,000, right? I only borrowed $90,000, but 35 years later, the total interest that's paid throughout the entire 35 years is $420,000. And yes, that is actually correct. Over time, the longer we borrow money, the more interest we have to pay. What will be the payment each month if the payments are to be paid off both the loan and the interest? All right. So I'm trying to pay off the loan and the interest. So I'm only going to do this for 35 years. So if I take the $420,000 interest plus my loan, $90,000 loan, altogether I need to pay off, let's see, $510,000. Okay, 35-year mortgage. 35 years mortgage. This is payments each month. So 35 years times 12 months in a year. Okay. So 35 times 12 Let's see what that is. 35 years, 12 months in 1 year. So that will give me how many months that is. I know 30 years should be 360 payments. So this is slightly more than that. So that's 10. That's 6 plus 1 is 70. That's 5. That's 3. So this is 0, 2. That's 420 payments. So we take $510,000 divided by 420 payments. Okay, so let's check it out. Round to the nearest hundredth. So decimal is right here. Nearest hundredth. So add one place for the tenth, add another zero. Excuse me, add 0 for the tenth, add another 0 for the hundredth, add one more 0 for the thousandth, so I know how the hundredth is going to be rounded. All right, 420 going to 510 about 1 times. 1 time. Let's subtract 0, 9. Bring down the next 0. That's about 2 times, which is 840. All right, if I subtract, that's 60. Bring down the next 0 down. So I'm just kind of line this up because I didn't write it very nicely. So the 10th place will be 1 time. So that's 420 again. So that's 8. That's 180. Bring down the next 0 down. 0. All right. 4 go into 18 about 4 times. So the 1's place is 4. So that's 0, 8, 16. So that's 20. That's 100. 7 minus 6 is 1. All right, bring down the next 0. So now 1200, check back up here. 4 going to 12 is 3 times. So 3 will be too big. So that's 2 again, which is 840. Right? 3 is too big, right? 12, 1, 2, 6 zeros are too big. 2 times 420 is 840. If I subtract that 0, 6, 11 minus 8 is 3. Bring on the next 0. This is $3,600. 4 going to 36. Exactly 9 times, so I got to use 8. 8 times 0 is 0. 8 times 2 is 16. Carry 1. 8 times 4 is 32. Plus 1 is 33. So that's 0, 4. 5 minus 3 is 2. So that's 240. Bring down the last 0 down. So 4 go into that about 5 times, right? So I can stop it right here. All right. Can I use 6? Because 6 will be too big. So I got to use 5. I can stop it right here because once I know the thousands place is more than 5, then this 8 in 100 is going to go up. So that means my payment is going to be about $1,214.29. Okay, that's my my estimation basically. All right, so just real quick on the power of 10 when it comes to dividing and a few application problems in this video. All right, that will conclude this lecture video. Thank you for watching.